The Global Sumud Flotilla is an international organization started on 31st August 2025 from Spain, aimed to break through Israel's illegal blockade of Palestine and deliver urgent humanitarian aid to a nation living under constant surveillance and restraint. It is the largest citizen-led humanitarian flotilla mission to Gaza ever, with more than 50 ships and representations from at least 44 countries, bringing together activists, MPs, humanitarians, doctors, artists, clergy, and lawyers, people of all faiths and backgrounds, Muslims, Christians, Jews, agnostics, and atheists alike. The flotilla represents a united stand to take direct action against the siege. Around the world we marched, protested, spoken up, and boycotted. Yet, despite those efforts, the pressure has not been enough to compel the world's governments to end Israel's assault on Palestine. For 23 months we've watched in horror as Israel, backed by powerful allies, has deprived Palestinians of the most basic necessities. So the brave volunteers on the Sumud Flotilla hope to break through the blockade and deliver food, water, and medication to a besieged and starved population. But on 24th September, the GSF reported hearing and witnessing multiple explosions and drone attacks. These incidents occurred late Tuesday night and continued into the early hours of Wednesday. In a statement shared by the GSF, they confirmed unidentified objects were dropped, communications were jammed, and several disruptions were recorded. Wednesday midnight, Brazilian organizer Santiago Avila posted on Instagram that a total of 10 attacks had taken place. He reported that multiple boats were targeted with sound bombs and explosive flares, and that suspected chemicals were sprayed over them. Despite these repeated attacks, the GSF pushed through and entered the final leg of the journey towards Gaza. Following the drone strikes, Italy deployed naval warships to serve as an escort, particularly along the stretches vulnerable to aerial harassment. According to reports, the escort continued until roughly 150 nautical miles from Gaza, at which point the Italian Navy ceased its direct protection. Meanwhile, Spain announced it had deployed the patrol vessel Furo to assist with safeguarding the flotilla. Spanish officials, however, stressed that their ship would not enter Israel's declared exclusion zone. Together, these efforts provided cover for the flotilla of around 40 to 50 civilian boats, allowing it to continue towards Gaza. By the end of September, organizers confirmed that the flotilla was entering the high-risk zone, where the threat of drone harassment, interceptions, and naval blockade was expected to be at its peak. On October 1st, activists reported that Israeli naval forces began intercepting the flotilla as it approached Gaza. Organizers said that Israeli naval units boarded with vessels about 70 nautical miles was jamming or cutting communications. Reports indicated 19 of the boats had been intercepted in total. One of the most visible figures on board, Greta Thunberg, was shown in a video released by the Israeli Foreign Ministry being escorted by soldiers on deck. During these operations, Israeli forces used electronic jamming devices, deployed high-pressure water cannons against the civilian boats, and forcibly detained passengers and crews, seizing their vessels. On October 2nd, Israeli operations continued, and according to some reports, 14 more boats were seized, bringing the total number of halted vessels roughly to 23. Organizers said that around 10 to 20 boats were still in motion towards Gaza. The GSF released videos of participants holding passports and declaring that they were taken to Israel against their will. Israeli Defense Ministry and international outlets showed flotilla vessels being struck by water cannons. The intercept has sparked a diplomatic backlash, several governments condemning Israel's actions, and protests breaking out in cities worldwide. The Global Sumud Flotilla now sails on with only part of its fleet intact, and with its fate uncertain. What is clear, however, is that its journey has forced the issue of Gaza blockade back onto the world stage, drawing renewed attention to both the risk of passage and the determination of those who undertook it.